What if we took a completely new approach to play? FreePlay.
What's missing? What hasn't been presented?
We challenged 3 world-class design firms to reinvent the playground from the ground up.
Wanted to give a kind of provocative set of elements that the children really could invent with.
Not simply a spaceful running through.
Richard Datner, legendary award-winning playground designer. Ken Smith, renowned landscape architect, designer of the roof garden at New York's Museum of Modern Art. Louis Suramaki Lewis, critically acclaimed cutting-edge designers. Among Architectural Record's top 10 picks of firms on the vanguard of contemporary architecture. Winners of the Cooper Hewitt Museum National Design Award and featured at the prestigious Venice Architectural Biennial. Imaginative, provocative, unique.
What we're trying to do is create the intensity of an environment that will sponsor the unanticipated.
Right.
They competed for the top design that would set a new standard in play environments. And they won.
The piece itself is really made up of 2 types of components. One being the landscape component of what we're calling the cornfield. How do you actually create a new type of landscape that is interactive, not just a surface for balls? And that's a series of faceted, sloped, soft surfaces that have embedded within a series of rubberized poles.
The idea of this is that it can vary, and so that the density of the field, the placement and proximity of these vertical elements can shift. So as you move through the field, the spatial experience is constantly changing.
The poles themselves could actually be sprinklers, sort of water pipes.
And if, for instance, you introduce things like LED lights, you could imagine them maybe being triggered by wind motion. We have, in all of these instances, gravitated towards objects that, even though they are relatively abstract, do have this kind of reference to a natural condition.
How do you actually create a climbing space where there is no true inside? You can climb literally through it, or you can climb into it, but if you're in it, you're outside the inside. You get these loops that are really involved in spatial play.
The outside can become a kind of a climbing wall, and the inside becomes this kind of occupiable, climbable surface. That sense of being within a space, but having a connection to the exterior that children seem to kind of relate to. Again, here having a degree of flexibility within the patterning in the system so that the child can inhabit it in multiple ways. And there are many different routes, different trajectories that you can carve through this thing.
The final piece is the Weeping Willow, which is a metal structure that has a series of green or other colored ropes, allowing people to climb, to move through it, to get lost in it. Is there a way to actually make it so dense that there's a space in the middle by making it shorter, that you could actually sit down, and that there's this thing around you that no one else can see you because you're literally under the Weeping Willow?
Rethinking children's play from the ground up. Unique and captivating, child-directed. A world of exploration, discovery, and freedom. Unlike any playground you've ever seen. FreePlay.